It's a little stormy outside, but that is no matter. I have got outdoor decor on my mind, and today we are going to head to IKEA. I'm going to take you shopping with me, and we are going to take our simple IKEA finds and turn them into the most fun, functional, and fabulous outdoor decor. I'm going to show you how to do it, but before we get on the road, a big thank you to Foreo for sponsoring this episode. I cannot wait to tell you a little bit more about them in just a bit, but in the meantime, let's get heading to IKEA.
Full stop. Can't believe I live in your thoughts. I think about you all the time, morning, evening, and midnight. Such a wonderful delight. Forgo, give up everything that I own. Yeah, I'd give it all.
So today I'm going to be focusing on outdoor stuff, or that's the plan. I mean, it might be a little early, so we'll see, but we're going to head upstairs real quick and buzz through there as fast as possible. The marketplace is where I really like to go for some of my IKEA hacks, but it's always fun to check it out up here.
If I'm honest, you're the leaves in mid-August.
They do change up their displays a lot, so it keeps things interesting, right?
That I love you.
I am considering this sofa, so I want to kind of see what some of the fabric options are. I actually picked up the paperwork on that sofa because I'm considering it for my family room. I don't know if I'll go with it for sure or not, but I do like it. And we've got some new seats here. Let's check them out. Okay, I had an idea for this one, so I really think this could be a real fun project for the outdoors, so I'm going to get the information on it and pick it up in the self-serve area. I see this basket, and it kind of reads to me as picnic basket, but it doesn't have a top, so or handles. But I wonder if we couldn't hack that.
You're the leaves in mid-August.
It's kind of busy here today. For Monday, I thought it would be a little bit more chill, but it's not. The last time I was here, I picked up a toy for Dolly, and she really loved it, so I think I might pick out another toy to take home.
Standing wild and free, with petals so golden, sounding when the sun.
Okay, I think we're going with a little frog rattle. She will love that.
Oh, dandelion, the strength that you've shown, stronger each year, look how we hold.
Okay, I'm in the pillow section. Will I or won't I buy something from the pillow section?
Forever we will grow.
Use that rug as an outdoor pillow cover. Might match what I'm doing. We'll have to see what else they've got.
Deep within your eyes, I found a home, the love that we
Heart is kind of getting full. I don't know if I'm going to get all this stuff, but it's kind of full.
looks bright, forever by your
These are kind of cute and happy looking. I don't know if I'm going to do anything with this, but it might come home with me. Okay, we need to find our little table that we want to redo. It was aisle 11 right there. That's it right there.
Oh, dandelion, the strength that you've shown, stronger each year.
They do have a lot of outdoor stuff out already, and we're gonna go check out the as-is section before we finish up this shopping trip.
We will grow. Oh, dandelion, the strength that you've shown, stronger.
I would have to get new covers because white with teenage boys, I don't know about that, but that's half price. I'm just not ready to pull the trigger yet. I don't know if I love it. Decisions. Let's check this out. So they have these, which are meant to go on like the carts, for $2.99. I don't know what the original price is, but look at this. It fits right on top of this basket. So we could totally do something with that. I almost stole something.
You have the right to remain silent.
I thought I brung everything up, but then I forgot about the table on the bottom of my cart. But luckily, I realized it before I even walked away from the checkout. But since it was self-checkout, I got randomly selected for a cart check. I'm sure it was really random, but I caught my own self and I paid for it. We're all good, so now we can go home and head to my studio. Okay, now that we're outside, can I just tell you how much I am dying right now? I am such a rule follower that was kind of traumatizing for me. I'm so glad I caught myself very quickly, but I almost stole, you guys. Oh, but I didn't. Okay, we can go home now. Okay, so now we're gonna do a little haul of all the things that we purchased. And first off, we've got this rug that we may or may not use for a pillow cover to go on this pillow right here. These are like two little cutting boards that I have an idea for, we'll see. And then this, I think it's jasmine. It's supposed to be jasmine or stephanotis. And this pretty pot. So I don't even know if this really needs hacked. I like that just as is. We also have this drink holder that we may customize somehow. It's really pretty on its own though. Then we got back here the two separate items that I'm gonna try to combine into make a picnic basket maybe. So we've got this cutting board and this basket, and it fits on top of this perfectly. I don't know if it was meant for that. Of course, we have the table that we got that we need to build. And finally, and perfect timing, because she just got here, we got Dolly's little toy. Should we give it to her? Come here. You want that? Come get it. Come here. Oh yeah. She needs a haircut, but she didn't get a haircut, but there's you a toy. You want that? Oh, you like it? She's giving me kisses. All right, let's get working on our IKEA hacks. I think we're gonna start by building the little end table. We'll go out to my workshop for that. You're welcome. You're welcome. Now go get it. Okay. Off she goes. We follow directions. Makes your life so much easier. These are not directions though. Are these the directions? These are the directions. Okay.
It's too bad you'll never know.
Let's see.
She has someone who makes her happy. I'm a ghost in these.
Okay, so we are gonna take these trays off. We are only spraying the outside of this, and we don't want to get the inside of this gold. There is a tiny little hole, so we're gonna put a little piece of tape to cover that hole on the inside, and then we're gonna flip this upside down. We're gonna flip that over, and then we're gonna use my favorite gold spray paint, which is this metallic gold, 18 karat gold by Krylon. I get this at Hobby Lobby. It's out of stock at a lot of other places, and we're gonna spray paint this. I also have the garage open. There should be good air circulation.
She's giving me these feelings that I've never felt.
And we're mainly focusing on the outside of the ring because like the bottom side is not really gonna get seen. We'll do a good job, but like we wanna make sure that the color is saturated on the outer ring.
She will never know, never know,
Now it's time to share with you my plan, and I am so excited about this. This is honestly something that I've wanted to do for a long time now, and I'm so glad that we finally get to do it. And that is, we are gonna be doing an epoxy like resin pour, and it's gonna be like 3-dimensional. So we've got a nice solid black backdrop. And the underside is gold, so you'll see a gold rim on the outside. I just think this is a nice added embellishment that makes it look a little bit higher end. Now, I found similar tables to this online, anywhere from like $250 for like a very simplistic one to like $500–600. And I just know that we could recreate this for much less. So we're gonna give this a whirl, and I've got this resin kit here, and it's a half gallon of each, so maybe like a gallon total. And then of course I have this resin mixer, and then I've got a Dollar Tree bowl that we're gonna be using. And then I have a whole assortment of flowers. I went over to Hobby Lobby and got into their like small like wedding pick section. We don't have a lot of depth in this tray, so we can't have anything like really big. Basically got pretty much the whole rainbow represented. So I thought it would be really fun to stick like one or two of these in our design. So the first thing that I want to do is decide the design of how we're gonna have this, and I'm gonna design it in one, and then we'll just very carefully transfer it over into here when we're ready. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get it designed, then I'm gonna take a photo of it, because I think it's gonna be in layers, so we're gonna have to like disassemble it, if that makes sense. So. So I'm gonna just sit and play around with this until I feel like I've got an arrangement or a visual that I like. I just feel like it's too busy. I do want it to be very vivid. I do want it somewhat busy, but I also want some of the black to show through. Okay, so I've got it planned, still very full. It looks like a big garden in a little spot. The first thing we need to do is remove this tape that we put on here to make sure that the spray paint didn't come in. And then what we're gonna do is put a tape on the outside to make sure that the epoxy resin doesn't go out the hole. And now here's where we're gonna get all science experimenty. I don't have my She Bader mask, but we're gonna use this one, and it's very well ventilated, but this stuff can get really nasty. And I ran inside and got a plastic cup and a spatula, and I think it's equal parts. So science experiment, here we come. So then we are gonna pour it into here and hope that our tape is gonna hold strong. And I see some air bubbles, and that's what the heat gun is for. Okay, we're gonna carefully transfer this over. So I probably should have separated this sooner. I actually don't know how much working time I have. I should probably hurry. Okay. Now we need to find a pretty level place to put this, but I've got glue all over my hands, so we're gonna lift this up and make sure this epoxy dries flat. Looks good. Okay, so our resin is gonna take about 2 hours to dry at minimum. It might take a little bit longer, and we could just sit and wait for it, or we could multitask like the elevated individuals we are. We are amazing and we can do so many things. And today we are going to multitask while we're multitasking, and we are gonna do a facial with the Foreo FAQ 202 LED face mask. And we're gonna do like a little facial while we do our project. I just thought that that would be kind of fun. I've been so curious about these LED face masks. I've done my own research that red light therapy can be so beneficial to you in so many ways. And with this LED mask, it has like 8 different wavelengths. Since it's silicone, it's comfortable and it will fit like a lot of different faces. It's got an adjustable strap. I've been using it for a while now, and there's so many benefits that I've seen. First of all, I've had a lot of comments from many of you saying that my skin is glowing, that I look healthier. I'm doing a lot of things like with my health, but one of the things that I'm doing for my skin is this, and the things that I've noticed is that my skin is more glowing and bright, it's softer, it's fewer wrinkles and fine lines. But crazy, I for the longest time had this really dark spot on my cheek. I fought it constantly. I tried like every goop, jam, and jelly to get rid of this like dark spot. I'd have to cover it with tons of concealer because it was so obvious even when I put on foundation. I don't know if you can tell, but I have zero makeup on right now. The only thing I have on is my lash extensions. Those are at home. They're like DIY lash extensions. So if you too want to see some of the extraordinary benefits of this light mask, they also have a lot of other items. They have like a smaller version, like a handheld version, and some other amazing, incredible products I highly recommend. They have given us the best discount I've seen on this product, and that is 30% off that and all of their Foreo products. So you can get 30% off using my discount code NINES30, and I'll put all of the links and everything in the description box below. So we're gonna do this while we're doing our next IKEA hack, which should go really quickly. In fact, we might be able to get the craft done before our treatment ends. So you can use your own skincare product if you want, but they have this one that I am obsessed with. I love it. It's Manuka Honey Primer Base, and it's feels so good and like it has such a nice consistency. And by the way, Foreo, I did my homework on them. They had the best reviews. They were so good. Okay, so I just put that on. So then there's a power button right here, and here we go. Oh, look at that. But there's like breathing holes, and it's actually quite comfortable. So we'll go on our app, the FAQ app. We're gonna do the anti-wrinkle or anti-aging treatment because that's my favorite one. And you go to treatments down there at the bottom, and it's now connecting. So anti-wrinkle, you just hit start. It's a 15-minute treatment, and it will cycle through 3 different colors, NAR and red, then purple, then orange, and they have like different benefits for each one. And if you like it, it plays relaxing music. And I find that like if you just wanted to lay down and listen to the relaxing music and treat yourself to like a little spa treatment. I'm gonna turn it down so we can craft today. While we're doing our little facial treatment, we're gonna create a monogram. Now this is the little drink cooler that we got at IKEA. I think it is beautiful as is, and it really doesn't need a hack, but I thought it would be really fun. So I just thought we would do it in some vinyl. So we're gonna go into the Cricut Studio and find a monogram that we like. Just put in your initial. They have so many to choose from. And then the one I selected has a space to put like names in it. And so I just put my last name. In the past, I've been using a lot of the Cricut Smart material, but this time I decided to just use some traditional. I don't really love the Smart materials. I mean, there's reasons why it's so convenient because you can get like this long uninterrupted cut, but for something like this, it will just weed and be so much better. Okay, so we're ready to continue. So we've opened it up, and then we're gonna just power it on, and then that will connect it. So we're gonna take our Cricut vinyl. Oh, and it just changed color. So this is like the second phase of the treatment. See, we're just crafting along here. So we're gonna load this up and cut our vinyl piece. And I can guarantee you we're gonna be done with this project before we're done with our facial. It's gonna be great. Okay, so we've got our monogram cut, and we are gonna just go ahead and I'm gonna just take a rotary cutter and cut off the excess. There we go. So we can save that for other projects. Okay, so then we're gonna go ahead and weed it. Oh, it just changed colors to the last cycle. So we've got our transfer tape. Let's see, I don't think we're gonna need much. I have this little piece I can cut off and we'll make this piece of work. And then let's see if we can get rid of that mat and we'll peel it off. So now we're gonna take our silver bucket, we're gonna find center, and we're gonna clean it off a little bit first. And we are gonna go ahead and find center. That looks pretty good. Oh, I just realized I missed weeding something. How did I miss that? I might have to weed that after the fact because I've already got it kind of stick down. We'll see if we can pull it off after the fact. Peel that back. Okay, there's the one that we missed. I'm gonna try to pull that back. Okay, well, that is good. We are done. Just in the nick of time, you guys. My treatment just finished. You can see that it just turned off. See how great multitasking is? So we got our facial in and we got our IKEA hack in. And then all you need to do is throw some ice in the drink cooler, throw your drinks in. These are some fun sodas that my kids have been dying to have. It just is a fun way to display it. It gets all kind of wet and sweaty so that you can't see the monogram so much right now, but it is really cute. So like if you didn't want to even do the monogram, this is an IKEA piece that I would totally love and suggest that you get. Our first layer of resin has dried. And I love it. Isn't it so cute? But guess what? I totally messed up. This right here is sticking out too far. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a little tape to get like the level. So we're gonna try here. I'm gonna make some marks. We're gonna try to trim it. If it looks too weird, then we're gonna have to like try to pull it out and then like replace it with something because we can't leave like a weird hole. We're gonna flip this over. It's gonna be cutting it close on several of these flowers, but this one was really bad. Let's see if we can kind of melt the edges on these. That actually did help. It's like wilting them a little bit and curling them in. That is working really good. All right, I hope that's gonna work. And I decided to do it in here for a host of reasons. First of all, I realized that this resin, whatever I got, is low odor and it is not stinky. And the reason I did it outside is because I've worked with some epoxies and stuff before that have been very, very stinky, and that is not the case this time. Okay, here we go. And we are gonna start pouring it and hope we've done a good job. Okay, what are we gonna do? Some of these wanna stick out. I'm trying to just push them down and it's pretty full. I mean, I can probably fit in a little bit more in a couple areas, but it's pretty full. I'm gonna go get a pair of scissors I don't care about ruining, and maybe like some tweezers, and we're gonna very carefully clip off some of these. I was so worried about the big one that I thought we were gonna be okay on these other ones. No! You guys! What do I do? No! Wait, I gotta get a level. Do I have a level in here? It looks like my table might be slightly off level. No, my table's level, so that must be curved. I don't know what to do. I have made a ginormous mess. Oh my gosh, I'm making even a bigger mess. I've totally ruined this. No!
In the arms of the angel, fly
right there. And go think on what we're gonna do, and we'll move on to the next IKEA hack, which is the rug, and we are gonna use it to cover the pillow that we got. It's feather, it feels good. So this is 16 inches by 23 inches, and we are gonna cut it just barely bigger so that it's kind of poofy. It makes sense. So we're gonna cut it to like 16 and a half by 23 and a half. That way when we do the seams, it will give it some volume. So we're gonna only add a 1/2 inch in each direction, except for on the back pieces. So the first thing you're gonna do is cut a front for your pillow if you can. I did that at the end, and you'll see why in just a second, but I decided to cut it just a 1/2 inch bigger than the actual dimensions of the pillow so that it would give it some oomph. And I honestly could have gotten away with just doing the actual dimensions of the pillow. You want it to be overfilled so that it has some fluffiness when you put the pillow in it. For the overlap, you're gonna take that same dimensions and add 6. And in my case, I went ahead and added 7 because it was 6 and a half. And so then you're gonna divide that by 2, and that will give you the 2 back flanges. So it was 15 each, with the height of the pillow being 16 or something like that. And then I left the finished edges on each side of the pillow so that we didn't have to do those. It made it so simple. Then what you're gonna do is you're gonna put right sides together, like the finished sides in, and match up the corners. And I used clips for this, and I clipped each corner. And then I made sure it was nice and smooth in the middle, and then I clipped where those met and ended, and then I added a whole bunch of clips around the edge, and then we just did a straight stitch all the way around. That was all the sewing that we really needed to do, but because this was a rug and it was kind of fraying, I decided to go ahead and do a zigzag edge to finish it off to prevent all of that fraying and make it last a little bit longer. A zigzag edge works really, really great. And so before we finish the edges, I cut each corner on a 45 degree so that when you flipped it out, it wouldn't be all like bulky in the corner. And then we flipped it out. I used scissors to kind of push it out. You got to be careful. This is pretty thick fabric, so I wasn't too worried. But you want to get those corners out, then you stuff your pillow. This is really one of the easiest type of pillows to make because you don't have to do any, like once you're done with the stitching, you can put the pillow right in. The disadvantage of that is you can't flip it on the other side if you ever wanted to, because sometimes it's nice to have a double-sided pillow. One gets a little tired. So this is just one simple way to make a pillow, and I love how it turned out. I'm using it right now. I think this looks so good. It's gonna go out here on my patio, which we're gonna be doing lots of things out here on this back patio. It's one of my most favorite places in my house, believe it or not, especially this time of year when it's a little bit cooler. So here's a sneak peek at the new fabrics, some of the new fabrics that I'm gonna be using. But like I said, I've got a lot of fun projects planned for this. Coming up over the next month or so, we're gonna be doing a lot of outdoor stuff, a lot of fun things that I hope you're really gonna love, and so I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, this area needs a big, deep scrub and a little bit of love, so this will be fun. My original plan for the top of this picnic basket, which I had envisioned in my mind, I decided to go ahead and cut it out of Cricut. Now I know not everybody has a Cricut machine, so there are lots of ways to get the similar look if you wanted to put like your name on it. And I just designed like my last name, established in 2007 when my husband and I got married. And my thinking on all of this is I'm like, this would be such a good wedding gift, and I know we're going right into the season of lots of weddings. And then I wanted to put some handles on it, and I went back and forth on a lot of different options. I went in and found in Hobby Lobby just some of these leather wrist bracelet things that you can buy ready to go, and they have like the snaps on it and everything. I decided to go with this look. You could totally use like a used belt, or there's just a lot of different options for handles. So then I just pulled out my Dollar Tree 5-minute epoxy kit, and I just mixed that up and put that on either end, and then I took some clamps and clamped that into place to hold it securely, and then I made it so it kind of bowed out a little bit so it had little handles that you could grab on. And then I let it sit for like 5-10 minutes, and it worked, and you could let it sit longer than that, but the epoxy works really, really well. And that was it for this. Like, so super easy, so cute. What I like to do is just throw in like a tablecloth as the blanket, and then a couple of goblets and plates just to kind of show you and give you an idea, and like some bread. The top of this, because it's kind of like a cutting board, I thought you could take like an artisan bread and use it as a cutting board. How fun is that? You could even flip it on the underside and make any cuts there. And I love how this easy IKEA hack turned out. Again, you don't have to even do the monogramming. You could just stage this as a picnic basket and it would be so cute. So there you go. I don't know if you've noticed this little cute girl here, but I didn't even do anything with it because I loved the pot that I picked out, right? Super easy. And I put it in. I might have to get a few more of these because I just think this looks really happy. And I'm gonna be doing some white flowers out here, faux ones, because I will kill them, you know, if you followed me. So I've got some really cool white flower things that are going to be coming, so you will want to stay tuned to see some of the ideas that I have whirling around in my head. But this was super easy. So I went back to the craft store and I got different flowers. I just kind of wandered around and tried to assess what I wanted to do, and I'm going to try doing a new one in the other tray, like I had mentioned. And then I also got some new little butterflies because I'm going in a different color direction. So let me show you what I've got. Way less flowers, kind of a different color palette, a lot simpler. So we're trying again. Wish me luck. So here's what we did for the second time around. I got out one of my little mini epoxy kits and tried to epoxy things into place. It honestly didn't really help that much. I'm not sure why. It was kind of a little bit of like a wasted effort on that, but it didn't like hurt anything. It just was just kind of not helpful. So I just went ahead and mixed up a little bit of resin and very carefully poured it over the design that we had created. So I tried to pour it and like hit it from the top down so it stayed right in place, and that actually did work really, really well. And so I got that first layer in and then I let it dry overnight. And then so the next morning I poured and mixed and poured another batch and filled it almost to the top. And I have a little gap, and then I have one little tiny leaf that's like poking out, and let that dry. Good about this. There's still a little wiggle room if I want to do one more layer, but that is looking really good. In the end, I love how this turned out. I think it is super high-end looking. It's stunning, and sometimes it goes to show you that less is more, because I really like this less is more look. It shows more of the black, it's more high contrast, and I think it's gonna end up looking better on my patio with all of the other things that I've selected. So maybe this ends up being a happy accident. I mean, and we learned a lot of lessons along the way, so there you go. I hope you liked that and persevered with me, and I am really happy with the end result. And so we'll let it cure up, and then we will get it staged in a future episode. All right, that was a hard workout, and I think it's time for a little, it's hot and humid outside, so I'm gonna take a little drink. Yummy. It's actually really good. Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope it gave you some quick, simple, easy ways to make over IKEA products and make them look super customized and just have a little bit of fun. Again, a big thank you to Foreo for sponsoring this episode. I love their products, and sometimes it's good to treat ourselves because we all deserve it. But they have like a whole array of things. If you can't do like the full mask, they have some smaller things there. Go check it out. Make sure that you use my coupon and get 30% off. It's such a big discount. It's the biggest one that I've seen. And that coupon code is right here, and I'll link everything below. And if you enjoyed this episode, here's another one that I think you'll like as well. And to all of you, I just want to remind you that you are more powerful than you know. We'll see you next time. Bye.